Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, gratefully recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, how we all doing today, guys? Here we are, Friday again. I love my Fridays, and not because I work for a company and collect a paycheck and it's the end of the week. Friday's my lightest day because I take at least half of my day off to go spend time with at my home group. It's the meeting I most look forward to. It's the one that I make sure I make every week. I have a service position. I've been honored to be able to chair the meeting, and again, every week somebody comes up and lets me know that I bring great energy. We had a fantastic meeting today. Yeah, another full house. Watching people that came in, fresh out of detox or right off the street, start to get some stability. They deal with some tough stuff. We had a girl this week who she's been she's had a couple warrants over her hanging over her head. She wanted to get in front of, so she finally decided it was the right time. She went and turned herself in. One of them was dismissed. The other one held her on a $5,000 bail. And again, this is these things can happen in recovery, guys. The wreckage of our past, right? Difference being, because she's been participating in a recovery group, building a recovery network, people from her network got in touch with her family, let their family know how well she was doing, let the court know, let the halfway house know. Family posted bail. Halfway house held her bed for her, so she's not out in the street. She's not in jail. She showed up in the meeting today, so happy to be there, and got her 60-day chip. And again, these are things that happen because she's working a good program, like she's doing the right thing. And legal obligations are come hand in hand with recovery. I know I've always been fortunate enough to take care of my legal stuff, go to jail, and then try attempt recovery. So I've never really had anything hanging over my head after the fact, but I'm glad I don't this time. But my point being, it was beautiful to see the way everybody in our meeting rallied around her, supported her, to hear that it was other friends from our meeting and from her halfway house that got her through, got in touch with her family, got in touch with her caseworkers, and communicated with the jail and held it all together so she didn't lose her place in recovery. That's the strength, guys. That is the strength of having a recovery network, building and being a part of a recovery community. Like, we will go to great lengths to support each other, and we're always going to be there for each other, and that's beautiful, right? So long as the ties that hold us together are stronger than those that would tear us apart, all will be well, right? And that's literally the title of the reading today, guys. The ties that bind us, or the ties that bind. It's the Just for Today NA meditation. The ties that bind. As long as the ties that bind us together are stronger than those that would tear us apart, all will be well. Many of us feel that without recovery we would surely have died from our disease. Hence, its existence is our very lifeline. However, disunity is an occasional fact of life in recovery. We must learn to respond in a constructive way to the destructive influences that sometimes arrive in our fellowship. If we decide to be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem, we are headed in the right direction. Our personal recovery and the growth of our recovery community is contingent upon maintaining an atmosphere of recovery in our meetings. Hugely important. Excuse me. Are we willing to help our group deal constructively with conflict? As group members, do we strive to work out difficulties openly, honestly, and fairly? Do we seek to promote the common welfare of all our members rather than our own agenda? And, as trusted servants, do we take into consideration the effects our actions might have on newcomers? Service can bring out both the best and the worst in us, but it is often through service that we begin to get in touch with some of our more pressing defects of character. Do we shrink from service commitments rather than face what we might find out about ourselves? If we bear in mind the strength of the ties that bind us together, our recovery from active addiction, all will be well. And the affirmation is just for today. I will strive to be of service to the fellowship. I will be unafraid to discover who I am. And I love that, guys. I love the fact that, I don't know when did we, I think I've been chairing the meeting for probably like 4 months now. Actually, possibly, yeah, about 4 months now. And I love that, right? I love having a service position. I love the fact that I've always, tried to get there early and stay late and help stack chairs, and we all do. And we all sit around and talk and get to know each other. But I love the fact that as my as I put together more time and my recovery is progressing, I get to raise my hand now to show the program works. I also raise my hand to let newcomers know I'm available to speak, and a lot of newcomers come up and get my phone number. A lot of other group members are reaching out and getting my number, and I'm also involved in a lot of the group chats. We have a couple of service groups and that have a group text in our group that when somebody needs a key holder to show up early or somebody to cover chairing another meeting, we have that open communication with each other. Plus, I'm also part of the business meeting in that group chat, and then there's the overall group. There's a group for chat with a lot of our members. I'm a part of all those today, and I pay attention to those today. As a matter of fact, I'm both opening and chairing the meeting on Monday. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. That's how that's a great way to be of service, and it's how we make sure that, like, the doors are always going to be open, somebody's always going to be there, nobody's ever left hanging. Like, we are very concerned. And we are fortunate to have a lot of newcomers come in because we have a bunch of recovery programs in the area. And I've noticed that, like, nobody makes any one decision. And even we had a perfect example. We had a girl that came into the meeting about 45 minutes into the hour-long meeting, went right into the bathroom and then held the bathroom up for like the entire, maybe it was either way. Stayed in the bathroom the entire time. Found out she was in there smoking cigarettes. And, we just got this new space. We're allowed some fellowship there. We like our new space. And, of course, we were offended as people. We're like, how can you do that? But and somebody did have to go open the door and ask her, hey, are you smoking in there? But you know what? Nobody overly confronted her. And before we ran her out of the meeting and rang her up the flagpole, like so many of us probably wanted to do, we got together and we discussed it as a group. We put it in the service people's chat, and we talked about it. And then somebody very lovingly and kindly said, who knows her personally, who can speak to her one-on-one. We don't want to approach her and run her out of the program. Like, part of the reason I love this group so much is I get to see and then I learn from the group conscience, right? Like, we put our egos in check. And again, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying anybody does anything perfectly, but I see fantastic examples of it constantly. We've had situations where chairs have relapsed and envelopes have gone missing, and those people have come right back to the meeting and are still welcomed in, and still, we cheer them on, we still hug them, like, we understand, and we're not condoning anything. And for myself personally, I make sure that everything I do is fully transparent and in front of everybody else. I make everybody aware of everything I'm doing, and I try to lead by example. So, like, when I pass the collection plate around for my meeting, I immediately count it in front of everybody. I mark it on the envelope, I mark it in the book, and then I hand it off to the secretary if the treasurer is not available. But the secretary is always there. So, and when he's not, I make arrangements with him ahead of time, so I always know. And again, it's not a lot of money, but it's the point of it. And again, when somebody's in a bad spot and they're living on the street, then any amount of money is a lot of money, right? So I try to lead by example. And again, I've surprised myself with how much not pressure, but how much I acknowledge the responsibility of holding the chair position, and that has forced me. Because again, guys, I'm not perfect. Particularly early on, I would sit in the back, wherever the seat was, where I'd sit there and I would character assassinate some people, and and I would decide who I might like and who I might not. And I'm so happy. And again, we all do, guys. I'm not proud of it. I wasn't doing it intentionally. It was just a natural reaction coming from my own insecurity and fear. It was more like, who do I think is going to accept me, and who do I think is going to look down on me? And that's literally anybody I thought would look down on me, I would immediately try to character assassinate. Like, and you know what? I'm so proud of myself for admitting that right now, and the fact that I see that today, because I wouldn't have known that a year and a half ago. I would never have admitted it because I wouldn't have looked at it. But this is the beauty of working the steps. You get to actually see, and when you're looking for your accountability and things, like, because I can't worry about who's going to character assassinate me. I don't care about it. Like, I try to be a man of good character today, so it doesn't matter. Like, anybody that comes for me has no ammunition. I mean, not perfectly, because nobody's perfect, and I'm certainly far from it. But I see the growth, right? And I see the weight of the action. So now that I volunteered for the chairing position, and everybody seems to agree that it's a good fit, I wear that responsibility, proudly. But I also, before I speak, I make sure, and I try to make sure I'm not going to say something that's going to offend somebody, and I'm just authentic and honest, and I speak in my own. But what I'm saying is, I welcome in every single new person. I make a point of learning every single new person's name. I pay attention to their shares. I congratulate them. When they come up at the end of the meeting to sign an attendance slip, I make sure I know who they are, and I try to, talk to them on a personal level, and just make sure that they feel welcomed and they feel a part of. Like, I'm not there to look down on anybody, and I love the fact that I'm told constantly nobody sees this, but I want everybody to feel comfortable walking in that meeting and sharing, and I make sure that if I see somebody speaking over somebody, then I will step in, not because I'm trying to put them in their place, but because I immediately go back and think about my first days walking in, how much anxiety I would have about what I'm going to speak, and how much it might bother me if somebody else is speaking over me or not paying attention, and I just bring that to their attention, and again, I don't say this to be perfect. I'm not trying to say it, but these are things I'm proud of myself for, right? And this is what I've learned from my group. These aren't all things I've learned myself, but I've seen other people doing these things. Like, I learned how to chair a meeting properly by watching my good friend Marlene, and I was so impressed with when she did it. And I'm not gonna. There was another person that came in between us, and I could see the difference in the energy of the meeting. Like, people were frustrated, people couldn't hear the chair, and I noticed the difference, and I'm like, okay, well, if I have an opportunity to do this, then I'm gonna pay attention to what I've learned watching other people do it, both good and bad, and I'm gonna try to bring it, take it a step higher and do the best I possibly can with it, and I love it today, guys. I had genuine anxiety the first day I did, even though I was producing videos here. It's me and my camera and my phone here, and I know people are gonna watch it, but not a lot. But anyway, it's still not in a group setting, and so I still had anxiety when I started, and but again, because I've been doing this long enough, it came to me very naturally, and I started getting positive results from it. People seemed to appreciate it, and then I noticed that Friday's meeting was starting to be one of the bigger meetings during the week, so I get some pride in that, and again, that shouldn't be the case, but I try to keep it as group conscious as possible. I try to make sure I welcome in everybody, and I see everybody else do that too. When somebody comes into our meeting, and it doesn't matter if you're day one off the street, when you come in and you speak of a struggle, like, you're going to have 3 or 4 people come up to you and offer you just support and camaraderie, and, hey, I've been through this is what I did, hey, hold tight, do this, do you need this? Like, it's a beautiful thing, guys. It's why I promote AA and NA so deeply. And again, it seems like a lot lately there's been this division between the two groups, and I don't adhere to that. I don't buy into that, and I call it out wherever I see it. I don't care if I'm brand new in an NA meeting and there's a 20-year clean guy talking, and no, like, we are a sisterhood. The NA fellowship comes directly from the AA fellowship, and both alcohol is a drug, period. Like, there is no difference, and again, not every area has both meetings, and I love that. And that's another thing I'm so incredibly proud of the group that I'm in. You will never hear that brought up in our group, other than people saying, "Oh, it's so much better than this other group I got to, where you can't say this and you have to say this." We have a very good mix of both alcoholics and addicts, and we're all exactly the same. And there are white collared Harvard. We're right in Harvard Square. There are Harvard people there that are white collar and alcohol and probably never saw a street drug in their life. And there are people like me that were just straight up street junkies. And I'm running the meeting, and I'm respected by these people. Like, a good support group should be exactly that, support group. Not people's egos, we place principles before personalities. And I love that. One of the things I love about my group, every group reads these statements at the beginning of the meeting, and then whether they follow them or not is a whole different answer. Our group doesn't. And that's one of the things that's helped me progress in my recovery this time around, and it's why I promote it everywhere else I go. It's why, as a matter of fact, I'm wearing a recovery t-shirt now. Like, you can't see the back of it, I'm going to even try. I got two more sweater. I got another sweater and another T-shirt from Lucid Recovery Merch Day. One says "Clean and Sober," and it has my sobriety date. Another one's got a nice bald eagle and it says "Proud to be sober" with my clean date on it. And I wear these things proudly. As a matter of fact, I was wearing the sweater I got yesterday. Today, Marlene showed up wearing hers, and a couple people noticed them. As a matter of fact, we were sitting side by side. They're like, "Oh, you guys are twins," and talk openly about it, and people thought it was great, and I'm promoting it. Like, I like to recover loud today. I like to promote recovery for the beautiful thing that it is, because it absolutely is. Like, the disease of addiction and alcoholism is an absolute epidemic, and it is killing thousands of people. I don't know the stats. I won't throw it out there, but recovery is growing, and recovery is so powerful, guys. It's so amazing. Like that, when we come together as a group, when we work with group conscience, when we bring our best selves, and again, not your best selves in so much that you want to put up a fake front, but when it comes to group conscience, take into consideration other people's feelings, their thoughts, what might be good, and just think about where you were in your early days and where you are now, and be honest and fair, and check your ego. And that's an important thing, and that's something I feel like I'm doing pretty well, and I'm proud of myself for that. Our group does it incredibly well. And again, I've done this by watching people whom I respect. There's a number of people in that group, and I don't want to start throwing, I can throw first names. John and Brian and Tom was there today, and Marlene and Mardine and Mo and Amy and Wendy is in France right now, on her way to France. It's like, it's beautiful. But these are the people that have made me come in. And again, I walked in day one and I'm looking at these people and I'm like, oh, terrified. Like, these people look like they got their shit together and this and that. And I'm trying to, figure out who they are by their looks. And then today they're all good friends of mine. And my initial impressions of every one of them was dead wrong. Dead wrong. And that's beautiful, guys. And I'm glad I kept coming. I'm glad they gave me a shot. I'm glad they gave them a shot. And I'm glad they welcomed me in the group, just like we do everybody else. The only requirement is a desire to get, stop you drinking and using. But if you want to become a member of the group itself, the only requirement is a desire to keep working your recovery program and be a better person. And that's what every one of us is there to do. And I see it working incredibly well. And I see us welcoming other people in. And that's absolutely beautiful. Anybody from the group, thank you so much for checking out the videos. Thank you for the wonderful meeting. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. Guys, that's the video for today. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.